Showing that this tall ladder to climb as
Yeah.
far as financially you want to invest your money in things, you want to make
Yeah.
passive income,
Yes.
but you got this deep hole based off life situations and the carrot that you
Yeah.
bit and blew up in front of you.
Bro.
And now you kind of down, like, dang, how am I gonna get out of this stuck situation?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't know if anybody else look at their finances, and sometimes it's a tall hill to climb, and you have to, re-encourage yourself so
Yeah.
often to keep pushing at that thing.
For real.
Yeah.
I think sometimes too, man, with finances, you do have an expectation for the way that you want your life to go.
Yes.
With your finances, you want to be financially successful. So you do feel like, man, but the money ain't all this ain't adding up. Like I work hard and I make a good amount of money, but why am I not seeing no gain in this?
Hold on. Well, somebody, Sheeta Pearl from Florida says, I've been trapped and I knew I was and wanted to be because I'd rather be trapped than single and alone.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's tough.
That was a
That's
good
tough.
one.
North Carolina in the house. Hey. That's Lonita's song. Estelle, El Estonita is her song. These financial entanglements are a challenge.
Oh,
Pimp
Man.
Diddy. Okay, the volume is too low. Okay, let me change that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, but like you do, you want financial success, and you have this picture of, okay, I see everybody see the Instagram and what people got going on,
Right.
And they look out here successful. They is making it big. But my life don't look like that. It look real regular, and my paycheck it be gone. And
Yeah, Instagram make you feel like everybody is like
Leveling
up. Everybody doing great. Like I'm bossing in everything,
Yeah.
and they make it look so instantaneous.
correct.
Hold on, before you go. So we're making Crunchwrap Supreme. I have ground chicken and ground turkey because I don't eat ground beef. So I try to use both to give it more flavor. We've got some taco seasoning. We've got some, which is pretty much cumin, chili powder, salt, pepper. I put a little unami for some mushroom flavor in there.
Yes.
We also have some, some Monterey Jack as well as cheddar cheese mix.
Come on.
Shredded, some sour cream, tomatoes. You'll see me chop up some tomatoes, garlic, and I added chives to the recipe just to give it a little bit more of an oniony flavor, and some fresh shredded lettuce. So you'll see me chop those up. I'm gonna cook the meat first, then make kind of a sauce. I also got some taco sauce because I kind of like it saucy. But I think the key with a crunch wrap, from what they tell me, is to make sure that you don't have too much moisture or the thing doesn't really crunch. It just be a soggy mess. So, so I drained the lettuce, and I'm hoping that I could get this right so we can cut it and have some real crunch in this thing. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. So that's what you'll see me doing, and I'm gonna put the camera back on the stove view. So those of you that are on YouTube and Facebook, you can see shots of the stove as well. Okay.
No, I think it is. I can definitely feel you, Stefan, with the strive to want to be financially freedom, like to have to be financially free, but you have so much that you weren't taught, that you don't know, because like for me, I didn't come from a family, like my mom wasn't the most financially astute person, so she didn't know to tell me about these different things. A lot of these things I learned and acquired.
What thing?
Honestly, from Pastor.
Hold on.
From Pastor.
I wasn't saying where did you learn them. I said what did you learn. But
Well,
I don't think being trapped has anything to do per se with how much. I mean, how much of being trapped has to do with your information.
Oh God, that's
You
huge.
know what I mean? I mean, how much of it has anything to do with financial education?
I think.
And are we doing a financial education discussion, or are we talking about being trapped
No, we're
in
talking
your
about-
financial situations?
When we're talking about being trapped in your financial situations where you feel like,
Because all you gotta do is tell me a word, I love finance talk, like we want to switch this, we want to talk about how to make some money, we want to talk about how to get some passive income.
all right, you do it, that's even the verbiage, man, we don't know what we talking about.
One of the biggest things that we do discuss is if you want to be able to level up financially, is you have to have a strong financial vocabulary first and foremost, and you have to have a good financial education. And no, that doesn't mean an economics degree, although I have one, but most economists don't even know good finance information. E.C. Rogers says finances need to be a subject in the school system. Amen.
Yeah, for real.
it's
We need
for
to
real.
we need more real life education taught in the school, home, etc. Needs to be brought back to the schools. 100%. I agree with that. We really do need that in our school systems. 100%. You know, that's why we have so many seminars at our church regarding those.
Absolutely.
Because it is a big deal. Financial education is a huge deal. Then most of it is not taught in school. So you just know about systems, but you don't know how to budget, how to plan, how to read a spreadsheet, or a cash flow diagram or anything like that. The ledger,
And I think, Pastor, like you were getting at, like, are we talking about finances, or are we talking about this kind of mindset or feeling like being stuck? And I like, I can't remember the young lady, but she mentioned about being stuck in relationships. Man, have y'all ever been stuck in a relationship where you felt like you just can't and don't know how to get out of it, trying to get out of it, and it's not just working?
Definitely. I think with relationships, I think when you look at relationships, I know for me, I've always thought this relationship will give me the comfort I need, the companionship I need. It will complete me. And so many times when I look at the relationships that I've been in, and one in particular that I talked about a couple of weekends ago, where I definitely felt trapped because I felt that person giving me everything that I needed. And even though you can see that this person is bad for you, even though you can see that this person is not for you, you can still in your mind feel like this is what I need, and this is all that I have.
Well, I know we switched from the financial trap. So, Stefan, how did you fix your financial trap situation?
Well, the trap wasn't so much of the situation that I was in that was making me feel trapped. It was how I was looking at my situation. The situation, I could get out of it, but the feeling of being trapped was so depressing and overwhelming. So I felt trapped, but I wasn't really trapped. It's just
how many people feel trapped financially? Because I think when we were talking earlier, Stefan, you said something about how you keep trying to make more money, but then you end up having greater expenses. So thus, it's like a never-ending cycle of making more money to pay for the increase in. Am I right? Anybody else? Anybody else feel that?
Living right at your income. And I did. I met with Pastor, and I had to make a plan. First, I had to get my mindset from stop feeling trapped. Then I sought wise counsel, and I said, hey, this is my plan. I'm going to decrease my expenses in this way, and I'm going to start putting aside for emergency fund, putting aside to have a future goal of investing in X, Y, and Z by the end of the year, by the end of 2 years. And it wasn't just short-term goals that would get me, out of the bucket. It was really thinking ahead and coming up with a plan to slowly get me at least going and not in this depressive state of I'm so trapped.
So it was first a mindset shift.
It was definitely a mindset shift. Thanks to the good Lord.
Right.
It's definitely a mindset.
So you had to think about whether you were or were not trapped first and foremost. Am I right?
Yes.
Changing your outlook about trap. I think when it comes to financial entrapment or entanglements, first you have to have a mindset that reveals your goal. You first have to say, am I trapped, or is this a necessary means to a goal?
That's good.
Do you know what I mean? I think once you can establish, and I think in our conversation that I've had with Stefan, once you can establish what your goal is, you put a goal in front of you, you'll work like a Hebrew slave.
For real.
Set that money aside.
Set that money aside. Get your budget going for your trips. Get your budget going for some wonderful community access program that you want to do. Once you set a goal, and then you can have some type of idea of what you really want to do, then it makes a sacrifice that you have to do at this job somehow bigger than the paycheck. It's going towards some. If your only goal is just to pay bills, you're gonna always feel trapped. But when you start subscribing to something that is larger than you, or start setting goals, then all of a sudden you don't feel trapped. You start feeling like I am achieving something. And I can go through this one more time. I can take this meeting one more again.
Exactly.
Because I see where it's going.
I think that's so good. When you said the word goals, it made me immediately think discipline. and getting more disciplined about how I spend my money, about where money is going and flowing, and watching it and determining, okay, I'm not gonna.
I gotta watch this pot.
But I think what Pastor said about goals is so important, because once you do see that goal, then everything starts lining up according to where you're going. Oftentimes you just see money going out and you're like, I don't know how to catch up. I don't know what I need to be doing. But it really does. Once you set that goal, now you start looking at things a little bit closer, and you start deciding, I need to save here. I need to put money here. Nope, I can't go out this weekend. Nope, I'm not going to get that done this weekend. And then you start looking at things and budgeting and start really trying to reel that in. And I think having that goal really starts to affect your habits. And I think a big part of that is your mindset and your habits have to be working in the direction that you're going.
Well, let's not talk like you're a financial expert.
No, I'm really not.
You know, because what you should do is, I'm like, anyway, One of the things that we did do when we played the cash flow game. By Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes.
What a great wealth of information he is, but also we play the cash flow game religiously at our church sometimes. On family game nights, we bust out this game, and it can take two separate days for us to finish it, but it changes the mindset of understanding really what you're doing with your money. You know,
for sure.
And the goal is to first have enough income where your bills are paid, and then you have what is extra. So this particular quarter, when we went over our finances and financial budgeting, we didn't go over the budget part because they were supposed to have mastered the budget from 2 years ago. And so some people couldn't quite participate as well, and in the next stage of building passive income, which is something we strive for at our church, where you start making money rather than working for money. And so a lot of people had to go back to the budget section. Learning about insurances, long-term care insurance, health insurances, life insurances, an emergency. How many people were surprised about how much you need for an emergency? An emergency fund. There's no such thing as an unexpected expense because they always come up. So having an emergency fund. These are things we talk about, you know, that will help with the mindset of feeling financially trapped.
For sure.
B. Diddy said that is a word, that B word is always a challenge, but it's like putting up a brick wall, a brick by brick. That budget word is a challenge, but it helps to have a goal in mind. It really does. When you have a goal in mind, it makes budgeting easier. Because financial trapping, I think, is so, for men as well as women, but it can be such a heavy burden. It's life sucking. It is life sucking. It just sucks the joy out of it. Now I don't like my job. You don't pay me enough for what I do. You know, and rather than using this as just a stepping stone to what your real goals are, and you have to have a plan. You gotta have a plan. I got a lot of millennials. I ran into a millennial the other day. Hey, sweetheart, if you're watching me, but just the other day, she said, I want to be an entrepreneur. She just turned 21. I said, great. What business do you want? She said, I don't know. For a person that is an entrepreneur, I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, first step, have a plan. But I think she's just now getting her plan together and the things that are necessary. Anybody got any comments on that?
I got a comment on that. Speaking of the entrepreneurial side, I'm definitely, I've been an entrepreneur for some years, decades now. And, one of the things about having your own business is that you are contributing to your own 401k. You are paying for your insurance. These are things that are constantly going out. And I struggle with being okay with the future. When it comes to passive income, you as an entrepreneur are putting your whole head into everything, and I'm on the court doing the work.
Your business is not passive income, Joel. That's primary.
Yes. And because it's not passive income, it's that part that gets me, because I put so much into the main job, And so I get concerned about, when I take off and I'm vacationing, or when I'm sick, or the unexpected happens, and where is that money going to come from if I'm not actually out there doing the work? So you're telling me
you can feel trapped as an entrepreneur?
Definitely.
Say that again.
You can definitely, I feel trapped. Oftentimes I feel trapped as an entrepreneur. there are times when, there's seasons that are great, and then okay, this is definitely a winter season where, people aren't enrolling their kids as much because it's cold and little Bobby does not want to be out there in the cold.
Little Bobby said no.
Right. And so now you're trying to, prepare for the cold seasons. You're constantly having to adjust. And fear comes up all the time. Because I look at the future and I'm always concerned about, am I going to be okay when it's time for me to stop being on the court?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
So having insurances, having savings accounts, whether your job matches it 401k or not, you have to have an IRA or some type of conservative saving plan. Listen, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you this much. At least have a conservative plan and then have an aggressive plan. But that's I don't want us to get too far into financial stuff today. Maybe one day.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future. So tell me some other things. Hey, sweetie, tell me some other things that you can feel entrapped with.
Career goals, man.
Hey, Corey. Hey, Corey Washington. What's up, Co-Watch? Corey, that's your song, man. Get money in the lifestyle.
That's my man, bro. Love you, bro.
We love you, bro.
Miss you, sir. But what were we saying? Other things that you feel entrapped.
Feeling trapped in a career choice.
Yeah, definitely.
So I
thought we weren't talking about jobs and money anymore.
Well, okay.
I mean, I'm tired of
You
that.
tired of that?
I mean, I don't know if you are.
What's the matter?
Work all day. Get off work and start
What I
working.
need, okay, excuse us 1 second. Listen, okay, this is not Bible study, okay? Don't look at the camera. Look here, okay? All right, because I think that's throwing you off. They don't expect you to be experts, okay?
Let's go, coach.
Just come with me, team. All right, turn your chair this way. Face Stefan and Jewel. You look at them. Don't look at the camera. They don't think you're experts. You are just living regular life, people. This is a live show.
We got really famous out here.
No, like, yes, because sometimes when I feel that we should do as an entrepreneur, we is out here trying to make it, okay?
No,
what other areas? I want to talk. Y'all ain't bringing up the topic I want to talk about. Lonita gave us a topic about being trapped in relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Being trapped in relationships, and I think that is something we all can relate to, in addition to the financial aspect.
Yeah.
Being trapped in relationships. Let me hear what you got on that.
I'm gonna hop in there, you know what I'm saying? I honestly don't think that we go into dating knowing how to date and knowing what type of people to pick. I think.
Whoa, we don't go on relationships knowing how to date. I want you to go on, but you gotta stop there. Okay. Talk to me. How do we get trapped because we don't know how to date? That's profound. You connected. We don't know how to date to feeling trapped in relationships. Give me something on that. That's hot. That's hotness right there.
Okay, you're going into a dating environment, and
right.
A lot of times in my past, I didn't know myself yet, and I didn't know where I was headed. So how do I know which woman that I should pick to be with me and my lifestyle?
Yeah,
so
really good.
How do I know how to date when I don't even know who I am?
Man, you saying something, and then the girls. Sorry, I'm gonna jump in. I don't know if
Go ahead.
but then as women, we'll get caught up, and we'll be the girl that you got when you don't know yourself.
Mm-hmm. Be there.
Did y'all hear the key on that? Did y'all hear the master key that Stefan just gave us? Number one, if this man don't know where he's going or who he is, and you decide to date him at this juncture in his life, you was not gonna be the one.
No.
You was the right now, because he don't even know what he really wants. You about to be the right now. Not Miss Right, because he don't even know what he wants, because he don't even know himself. Jeez. And that means that's a master key right there. Come on, give me some.
That's good.
Because if you could devise a way that you could tell whether a man really knows who he is or knows what he wants, then you'll know when he picks you at that time in his life that you might be Miss Right rather than Miss Right now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of girls are settling and trapping men.
Yeah.
Because the Miss Right now is trying to trap men. Mm-hmm. Hello, somebody,
That's
and
true.
vice versa, I should say. But go ahead, give me something on that.
Oh yeah. Y'all got something on it? Because I'll go in there now.
You just keep going.
Okay.
They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. Lonita says, how can he be possibly begin to know if he doesn't know himself exactly. Come on, exactly. And then Harmony says, what did you say, Harmony? How do you know when to compromise and when to stay strong?
Woo, that's good.
Ooh, good.
That's
Ooh,
good.
that's good.
I think it's key that both people know themselves. Like,
Yeah.
You can't turn it that way.
Like we were always, groomed and taught that being a human is a fluid concept. You're gonna be changing in your life, but it's certain things that are non-negotiables.
Correct.
You need to know your non-negotiables, and I think more conversation has to be had up front, and there should be an assessment period.
Man, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Stephon, I know men tell girls up front, they do not care.
Hey,
Hello?
A man will tell you what he wants. You know what I'm saying? The hints is there. Like, if a man just wants you for sex or whatever, they're going to throw out how much cash they make. They're going to throw out stuff that's going to get you to want them for a physical purpose.
Yeah.
But if a man really want to take it there with you, he's going to be inquiring about things that will help him support whatever vision that he has or wherever he wants to be. It's just, as a woman, you have to listen and notice what this guy is feeding you, or what we are guys is feeding you.
Man, but that's tough, because on our end, if you are, like you just mentioned, if you are a girl that too doesn't know yourself, I find myself being oftentimes feeling like, well, let me shape and bend to be what fits you, even though you could be giving me off these vibes that say, yeah, I just want you for the attention, because the attention, the sex, whatever. I just want you for that, and I could know these things, but because I'm so desperate to just be with you, I'll adapt and shape and keep. Let me. Okay, you said you want sex. Kiki, okay, let's try that. Okay, you said you want somebody to cook. I'll try that.
That goes with Harmony's thing, like when do I compromise and when do I stay strong?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that's so difficult because when it comes to, like, I know I compromise all the time. I'm just gonna say I'm a single person.
It's a real thing.
I compromise.
I
am constantly when I'm out here. Oh my God, it's so hard. I'm out here dating people.
Why? Why do we compromise?
I compromise all the time because I feel like I'm getting older, and maybe those things that I compromised on before kept me from being in the relationship that I really wanted.
Yeah, that's
so
real
then
too.
I started thinking, well, you know what?
Whoa. So you start thinking maybe what I stood firm on before stopped me from being in a real relationship.
Absolutely, that's real.
Definitely.
That's real.
Definitely.
That's definitely real.
You hear me say whoa? You hear me say whoa? That don't even make no sense. How could something that you did not think was a part of you, something you didn't even think was a part of your life, that you decided in one part of the relationship or in one relationship, I'm not crossing that line because that's not who I am. And then later you be like, well, forget that.
Bump that line.
Bump that. Maybe I missed out on something good. How did you miss out on something good? I'm just trying to just challenge the logic here.
Yes.
How do you miss out on something good that you originally said, even before the relationship, this is not a part of who I want to be? And then later you be like, well, maybe I missed out on something good. How did you think that the thing that was asking you to be something you're not was missing out on something good?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to.
Because you're desperate.
Because you're desperate.
Yes, you're desperate.
It's definitely desperate.
It's definitely a self-worth thing. Like, if you can't say within myself that I'm gonna catch, I ain't gonna lie, Pastor. Pastor had to tell me a couple of years back that you the prize.
That's
And
right.
I've been like, I'm the prize. I'm the prize.
You the prize.
I'm the prize.
My man sheep is the prize, okay? I don't date my man sheep, so I can say that very comfortably, okay? But they is the prize, okay? They good, strong men that love God, that fear God, that hard workers, they want to provide security and safety for their families. They the prize. I don't care what nobody say.
It's like you will compromise yourself, and thank you, Pastor. You know what I'm saying? You will compromise yourself if you're not standing firm, and I think the worst part is that when we assess what we bring to a relationship, I'm assessing things like my looks and my money, and I'm assessing things that a woman is looking for, security or support or communication. She's looking for something else. I'm assessing wrong, and I don't know that I have valuable things for a woman, period. But what I'm assessing is something that, man, if I'm not looking good in this area, then I don't have any worth, so then I compromise. And it's like how we assess ourselves to what the other opposite sex want, we can end up all wrong.
Yeah.
And compromising.
Well, yeah, because when you assess for what the opposite sex wants, it should be stuff that you also want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, and then you can just remove what they want out of the equation, and this is who I want to be. In essence, am I financially stable so that I can be a good provider for my family?
Mm-hmm.
Or is being financially stable a desire that I have family or no family?
Mm-hmm.
Am I putting makeup on? Am I doing this because this is what I want for me? Or am I doing this because this will make me more attractive to somebody else? I think, like we talked about last week, sometimes we get it confused when we're assessing what we should be, that we start striving for that goal and then lose ourselves.
Yeah.
Because they could be fickle as F. Okay?
Right.
They can be fickle as F, all right? And so now all of a sudden you done rearranged yourself 50 million times,
Yes.
striving for
Yeah.
something, and then I think you should just really start with me and God. What do I want to be?
Yeah.
What kind of man do I want to be? Marriage or no marriage, children or no children, wife or no wife, what as a female, what kind of woman do I want to be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do
That's
I
good.
enjoy being?
Yeah.
Good.
And then maximize on that. You could, like we talked about, Jewel could very well not cook ever. But she got so many other skill sets, and somebody be like, I cook. You know, my dad's a chef. I don't even care. Okay, I can cook. But she's maximized what fits her personality.
Yeah.
What fits her look so much so that she's beyond attractive to people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes maybe we got to decide whether we're trying to attract everybody or a specific person.
Or the right one.
Oh, come on now. Come on.
That's good.
That's really good. When you feel like I felt, you do look for let me try to attract everybody, so it just helps with my self-worth.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm valuable versus no, it's the specific one that I should be looking for.
Marvella Davis, Aunt Belle says, you the experiment. when you get somebody that don't know who they are and they decide to date you, you are the experiment. That is so true.
That is good.
You know, y'all. I was watching the show last week, and
But it's got last week vibes to it.
Yeah, it did. So I was thinking, like, I was looking around the table and I was listening to, the women being transparent. But these are my sisters, and I could emphatically say the women that are here and that were present last show, these are women that could grow your business with you, male. These are women that will support you and respect you in your decision making, and that's because of what we are exposed to here and the values that we have here.
Definitely.
And just, like we just came off a whole financial talk.
Yeah. Literally.
A man really wants a woman who's gonna not necessarily just be there to be a woman, but if he's moving somewhere, he needs somebody to lessen that burden or make that smoother. And the thing is, women have that worth in them. That's just not what we tend to show on the forefront when we come to
Hip
the
hop
table.
real estate, what's going on, man? Atlanta's one of Atlanta's top real estate agents. What's going on? Good to see you. Hey, I told y'all gonna shout you out. Okay. He's selling multi-million-dollar properties. Okay. All right. Check him out. Hit his page up. Let him see what you got going on if you need some property. Go ahead.
Yeah, whether I'm just describing, it's the difference between a girlfriend and somebody who getting the Super Bowl ring. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think rather than looking for a wife per se or a husband per se, you really need to look for somebody that you could do life with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like all the ups and downs, but what are we gonna do? Like what are we like, do we just exist? Do I just want somebody to help me exist? Because I can do that by myself.
Yes.
Correct.
Or do I want somebody that can help me do life? What are your purposes? What are your dreams? What are your visions? Maybe it is family. Maybe you want a bunch of children that you could really rear up in such a way. I don't know what it is, but I do know one thing. Y'all better have some true ideas about what you expect that life to look like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you don't know what yours is, you should pick yours first.
Yes.
Like, what do I want my life to look like?
Yeah.
What do I think God has for my life? And start moving in that direction. Then this other random chick picks hers, and she's moving in that direction. Your paths will cross.
Oh,
They
yeah.
will cross.
Oh, yeah.
They will cross.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
be like, okay. Or it's not even, or it clicks.
Yeah.
You know, you could be on two opposite spectrums, but the fact that it merges at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It works.
But I think we just try to be everything to get everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me be the woman of jack of all trades.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
The master of nothing.
Yeah.
So that we could get as many likes, dates, and attraction eyes. You know?
As soon as you said that, I
That's
thought
good.
of the Joker juggling balls, jack of all trades.
Yes,
You
yes.
a joke out here.
Man, you really are, because you don't become good at anything, and you should be really good at the stuff that you do well.
Yeah.
If you are a compassionate person, then you need to be maximizing on your compassion. You're the person that always does the birthday cards at work, or you're the person that always maximize on that. Don't hide it and try to diversify. Be you, and be you to the fullest.
Yeah.
And see where that will take you. I think number one, even if it doesn't take you to marriage, you'll have a better life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you desire marriage, I can't understand why it won't take you there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Pastor, I think that was so good what you said basically about you and God and having that understanding of where you are, who you are. And I think that was good, because I know what happens for me is I'll go into it, got a date, I'm excited about it. I get there and I come in strong with my ideals. This is who I am. I go to church. I love I love God. I work. I do this. I'm an entrepreneur.
You come in strong.
I come in strong with like, this is what I do. I
Right.
don't cook. And I don't talk like this. You know, I say it real sweet. But I already let it know. I'm not cooking for you. I don't do that. I'm just like, oh yeah, I just go out to eat a lot. Something like that. But I definitely will indicate the things that I'm not doing, okay? Or just where I stand, how much I do attend church, things like that. So then after I do that, and I'm coming in strong, like, whoo, this is it. If you want to get with me, this is what you got to do.
Right.
And then they don't really receive it like that. There's some parts of it that they don't receive. Like, for instance, there was a guy that I was heavily interested in who was not attending church. Now, he loved God. Ish. But
Did he love God? Ish. Did he?
Love something about God.
This is the other thing that I do. And I know somebody's feeling me out there. I know you feeling me, Daddy.
Yes.
I will feel like I can change the person.
Correct.
So I was like, okay, so he don't go right now, but I'm pretty sure I can get him to go at least once a week.
Exactly.
And what ends up happening?
Whoa. So, Stefan, can women change men? Can women speak for all mankind? Can women change? This is what we've been wanting to know. Can women change men?
I'm gonna tell you, the man that you can change is the man that you don't want.
Oh,
Say it
no.
again.
Okay.
Say it again for the people in the back.
What?
The man that you can change is the man that you don't want.
Come on now.
Oh, God.
Come on.
That's
Come on.
good.
Serious.
That is
Okay.
good.
You don't want a flim flam guy.
No, I
You
really
want a
don't.
guy. You
I
want
really
a guy
don't.
that sticks to. You want somebody that's compassionate, right?
Yes.
But if you could somehow manipulate him and to change him, then you would do it all the time. And guess how you would feel about him?
Oh, I wouldn't want to date him.
No.
I'd be like,
You wouldn't have no
he's too
respect
soft.
for
He don't do it. Yeah, I would
wouldn't
definitely
respect
back
him.
out of that. I wouldn't want to be with
Whoa,
him.
whoa. So we don't want a man we can change.
I don't think you want that guy.
Okay,
Well,
but
no,
but then I know.
I've had men tell me, you make me want to be a better man. So technically, am I changing him to be a better man? Because I thought this was like the best compliment ever. I'm just saying.
You know what? I would honestly say that most guys who say that I have a good woman in my life or I have a good wife in my life, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's what my
That's
dad
right.
said about
Yes.
my. That's what my dad said about my mom.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I can say you can influence
There
a man.
you go. There you go.
Influence.
That's the
You
word.
can influence a man to change,
Okay.
but he's
You can't
gonna
make him change.
you can't make him change.
He's gotta want it.
Okay.
Exactly.
You've got to be the
That's good.
shiznick that makes him want.
Give him something to lose.
Yeah, like, you know what? Give him something to lose. You know what? I need to step my game up. I need to be this. So women, we've learned that we can't change men. And we did change them, we wouldn't want them, which is true. I am a lioness and I do enjoy a a good king of the jungle. But but this is true. That's a good point, Stefan. I like that. Okay, so any comments? Okay, a good woman can change a man's mind to consider what is right and good.
That's right.
Yes, he has to make a choice to change. Yes. Sometimes the right person for you is based on fantasy you have thought in your mind.
Ooh.
Tough.
Man.
That is
Tough.
That is
Who
tough.
you thought you wanted to be.
Yeah.
Then when you got him, you like, I don't even like this.
Yeah.
Anybody been there before?
Yes.
Anybody been trapped in a fantasy relationship?
Yes.
Let me hear about it. Let me hear about this trapped in a fantasy relationship.
Hey man, I got a thing for Hispanic women.
What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying.
As we make some Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's all. Hey,
Hey, puppy.
listen, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's cultural differences out here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And this thing that I had for this Hispanic-looking woman, it was really about the aesthetics, you know.
Oh man, you don't even know what nationality she was.
Oh, she was Dominican.
Oh, okay. Well, there we
And
go.
she's-
Oh, come on. Now, Dominican women are gorgeous.
Beautiful. This lady was fine.
Gorgeous.
She was fine.
Gorgeous. Yes. Okay,
And
got you.
It's just the fact that fineness was blindness for me. I came ready to make it work. You know, I came simp out. You know, and it's like the approach. You know, to okay, this is what I want, and I'm gonna lay my cards down flat, which was definitely the wrong thing to do. So what I ended up doing was opening up my heart to love and pursue this fantasy. And she didn't have to meet any qualifications in my heart for me to put that in her hand.
Because you just believed the fantasy of who she was.
I believed the fantasy, and I believed that I was the
it wasn't even her. It was just what you thought she represented.
Yes, I thought that I had a notion in my mind that she's beautiful, so she's a good woman. You know, you sometimes you don't ever think to consider this person. You know, arms might stink. You know, this person might have some flaws.
Right.
This person may not be and this whole fantasy of this person, just because I see them, they're perfect for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like you start pursuing and start doing what you think is the right thing to do to get this person, and you may or may not necessarily get that person. Thank God for me, I didn't get that person because that person just wasn't the type of person that could take care of the type of man that I am. And if I would have won her over,
how did you figure it out?
just by the rejection that came. Yes, I played the simp. I have not the pimp. Capital S simp. The simp son. Yeah, I was definitely going on dates, not cashing in on any making out, no butt. I was definitely buying flowers and jackets and paying for stuff and really proving myself to be a provider and a good man. And I realized that none of that was reciprocated or even wanted to be reciprocated. You know what I was? I was the "you're really nice" guy.
No.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so nice.
No.
Who is this woman?
No, I'm not sweet. No, I'm not nice. I want some reciprocation. I'm
Get
doing.
me out of this friend zone.
Yeah, I stuck myself in the friend zone. You know?
Oh, man.
And this just, I didn't, like I was saying, I didn't know how to date. I didn't know to take my time and to actually get to know the person in front of me before offering all of this value to this person.
Yeah.
And before you know it,
So what other trap situations? So that was one. It didn't get very far apparently.
No. I was stuck in that thing, but
How long?
oh man, it was
What?
a perpetual thing. You know, I would leave. I'm tired of this. Come back. Leave. Tired of this. Come back. And I was trapped because I tricked myself into thinking that the work that I put into it was me loving her.
Oh, God.
Was not loving her. I came to the conclusion that how can you love somebody who don't love you? Can you honestly love that?
Can you love somebody? Question out
That's a
there.
good question.
Can you love somebody that does not love you?
Yes.
Question. Let me see what you say. Come on, heart it up. Let me see some answers out there. Can you love somebody that doesn't love you? Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Or does love have to be reciprocated? reciprocated for you to know that you love the person? Can you love someone that does not love you? I want to know what you say. Somebody says yes. Somebody else. Somebody said DAMN, and then it said darn. I would say who it is, but they mama on Facebook and they on Instagram, so I ain't gonna say that. That's funny. So can you love somebody that doesn't love you?
I think you can, 100%. I remember I've been in a relationship where, we dated off and on.
What was that love?
I felt that I loved.
Now listen,
I loved this person.
Example.
Okay.
I don't like you and I'm not showing any reciprocation towards you, and then you say, I love that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So in essence, you could be infatuated with somebody in hopes, but you can't keep loving them like that.
It's not love. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's not love.
It's
That's
definitely
not.
infatuation.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
love has to be reciprocated.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're gonna classify
definitely.
if you're gonna classify this as love,
It's got to be reciprocal.
how can you love something? If you love yourself, you feel like you're a good thing. If somebody can't identify that you're a good thing, how can you love that person who can't identify that?
Okay, I don't know, because I know I've been in a relationship with a person that I really wanted it to work. And even though this person had
How is it? How's it meet?
That's good.
It's good? Is it ready to go?
That's great.
All right, so it's almost done. Here you go. So you telling me you were trapped in a relationship, Joel? What relationship you were trapped in? I know all of them. You ain't really been in no trap relationships. Okay, maybe Stefan was a little bit trapped. But I mean, I'm talking about the ones that you done gave too much. Too much of yourself, too much everything. And then, and you wanted to be out of it, but couldn't get out of it. Anybody ever been there before? Holla at me. I honestly don't know if I've ever been in love. However, I see the love of God. I imagine it would be a human form of that. It would be a human form of that on a way lesser scale. Take that fantasy and bring it way down. Way down.
Way down.
Falling in love is like you're choosing who you would sacrifice for.
That's good.
It was nothing about you.
What you say?
It's nothing about
It's
you.
nothing about you.
Falling in love is just saying, I have made a pick out of all of the wonderfulness out there that this is who I'm willing to sacrifice myself for on a consistent basis.
That's good.
That's pretty much what falling. And then you do it out of some type of warm emotion that you can't really turn off. So if you want to know if love feels like that, then yes. It's like passion. And then put passion as the cross. And then there you go. There's what love feels like. It's not what they show you on TV. And somebody says, yes, exactly.
Right.
I'm stuck on, is it really love? Wow. Okay. Is it really love? All right, cool. Go ahead. Who's talking? I'm sorry.
Thank Joel. I'm stepping back from that.
Is it really love?
Deep.
I know I have felt trapped in addiction. And that's an area where I felt like I just couldn't get out.
What kind of addiction?
My addiction. I'm currently in the middle of this battle. Is emotionally eating, and I, in times of stress, in times of duress, what I'll do is grab something, particularly sweets, because I love sweet food. I love sweets. But it feels like to me like a blanket, and I now sometimes I stand and be like, okay, I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. I know that I'm gonna feel guilty after I indulge, because then I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna overindulge. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat till I feel comforted, and then once I feel that comfort, then I feel guilty, because I know. But I'm gaining weight, and I feel stupid. Like, why did I even do this again? And it's that cycle and that knee jerk, just over and over and over again. That turmoil, and I feel like I can't get out of this. I need help to get out of this. So,
Trapped in addiction. Yeah. Addictions are always a trapping. It's an enslavement. It makes you feel like you have to have it or you die. So how are you? I mean, I know, but tell the rest some of the techniques that you're using to help with being trapped in addictions.
Yeah. So some of the things that Pastor has taught me has been to slow down in my emotions, and to take the time to pray, I love praise and worship, and I love music. To sing, to listen to a song, those things help me. Journaling and writing down my thoughts and feelings, those things help me. I had
therapy, counseling.
Therapy, counsel. Golly, counsel is key.
Therapy and counseling is good.
And continually being open and honest about where I'm at with it, I think also helps me to not feel so vulnerable and stupid. Because I feel like oftentimes I want to hide this thing, and I often would hide it. Like, I would go in my room. Pastor is so attentive, y'all. Let me be honest. She would.
Is it attentive or is it a non-attentive?
Both. Where she could see the pattern and the traits of how I would do something, and she'd be like, "Why are you going over there standing in the corner to eat that food?" And for me, I'm sorry, it's real. It's real.
Well, face that. Don't face that. We are your support.
Yeah. Got you.
For me, it was being able to just say, for somebody that, first of all, identify and see me, and I felt like I don't have to hide this. I don't have to keep this.
Yeah.
That you see, oh my God, this thing is bad, but you won't throw me away.
That's right. That's right.
You'll keep me, and just being able to
You're
say,
accepted with this journey.
I'm accepted with this journey.
Yes. I think that's a big deal because some addictions are so shameful. All forms of addictions can be so shameful and guilt-ridden that you do it in silence, and so then you suffer in silence. Yeah. And then having your pastor or a therapist or a group of friends that say, we understand, we may not understand, sometimes you do understand, in some cases I do. I do understand what you're going through, but even if I didn't, that you can tell someone. Yeah. And in my interactions with Danielle, she's walking through, and we believe she's going to be free from this. That's right. Is that we can talk about it every day. We can talk about the struggle she has with this every single day. She's like, I don't want to bring it up again. Well, bring it up. Bring it up, because that's what it's like, because you're dealing with it every day. Yeah. And so being a part of someone's life as either friend and pastor means that it's a part of my life every day. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't deal with it on certain days. You deal with addictions every day. Yeah. Yeah. And so being a part of someone's life means that you are a part of them discussing that and helping to work through that. Yeah. Because it could take a minute. And and I know we all love praying, going to the altar and praying, and I'm delivered. Yeah. And those things can happen, but most of the time they don't happen that way. Yeah. It's very rare that it happens that way, not often. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it has been a journey, and I thank God for Pastor, because I'm progressing and I'm way better than I was. I'm able to identify. I had a traumatic childhood, and that was a coping mechanism. Yeah. So, getting the opportunity to, first of all, go back to that thing and, seek the Lord and get counsel by the woman of God through that painful thing was why I got to the point of helping me identify and get on a path of healing in this, food addiction, because it was a coping mechanism. And, Pastor has given us the empowerment to say, this traumatic thing happened to you, but it doesn't have to stay that way. The rest of your life doesn't have to stay that way. And that is my press every day.
Yeah, we talk about the struggle. Yeah, we talk about how while this terrible thing has happened, the effects do not have to remain. Yeah. And so working every day on some of the effects, because most of the habits that we can form, especially in Danny's case, have come from some traumatic situation. Yeah. And we just try to cope. Yeah. I'm just trying to cope through a huge something that happened, and this is just one of those mechanisms, and then that mechanism stays far past its welcome day. You're like, bye. It's like, I ain't going nowhere. Right. But I'm done with that now. I would like to move on. It's like, oh well. Yeah. Anybody else have any trapped addictions, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I definitely can completely identify with being trapped and addicted to, and having a behavior that you just cannot stop. For me, it was being obsessed with how I look, in particular my hair. Yeah. So anybody that's watching, all my friends that are watching know that I was wearing weave my entire life. Yeah. And it I can laugh about it now, because it did start out like, hey, I want to start wearing weaves as a when I was growing up, I was always surrounded by white girls because I played tennis. And, you know, they had the long flowy hair and they whip it back and forth, you know.
Hold on one second.
Yes.
Hold on one second. Let me catch you guys up on what I'm getting ready to do next, and then I'll turn it back over to Jewel. Didn't mean to cut you off, but we only got a couple of minutes, like 2 minutes left. So, and I want to get to some other addictions besides hair addictions.
Okay.
But right now we're going to make the crunch wrap. So pretty much what you're going to do is I've already got our large flour tortillas according to the recipe, and we're going to put the meat and then the tostada. And then we're going to, after that, layer the tomatoes, the lettuce, the sour cream, the cheese. Then we're going to take the small flour tortilla that they told us to cut, and we're going to put that on top, fold it over, and then put it on the stove.
Come on.
So as they're talking about these last couple of points, I'm going to be doing that and try to knock out about 4 of them so we can eat them before we get done. Okay? All right, cool. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Awesome. So, so as a black female athlete, you know, so many of my friends or athletes that are watching right now know that, you know, a lot of times you're wearing weaves because it's just easier that way. You know, it's one way.
So it was for the culture of being around white people and for the sport itself.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right, cool.
And then it took a turn. Because then it got to a point to where I could not go without it, and where I felt like I was unattractive when I didn't have it. So then, even after my career was over, I was still wearing the weaves. And at this point, weaves had just become like pretty mainstream in society.
Yeah.
So I was just blending right in, even though on the inside I had a serious issue, which was I could not go without it.
Yeah.
And so after talking with Pastor about it, you know, there at one point my hair was starting to thin, it was breaking off, and I was like, I don't care, I weave it back up, you know, that's what we do. I mean, who cares if it ain't doing well? Nobody will see it, you know, because that was always my thing. I just cover up. It really mattered to me what people saw.
But the point was that you were unhappy.
Yes, but I was definitely
how you look naturally.
Right. And that is what was the biggest issue. And so, in talking with Pastor, my hair was breaking off. She said, why don't we try to go? Why don't you try to go without the weeds? Oh my God. That was the hardest thing for me and really revealed how much I was addicted to it and found comfort in it. And just being obsessed with my hair, like that cycle continued, even to the point to where now my hair is short because it fell out. Because I did relaxer and followed it with color. But that was an obsession that I had with trying to get it to a way that I really wanted it. And so it got to a point to where just my cycle has been, I will do whatever is necessary to achieve the look I want to have.
And that look is based on, and that look is because you don't like what you look like.
Exactly.
Alone. Yeah. That can be trapped. You can be trapped in your own skin.
Yeah.
Hey, Sheena. Hey.
Hey, Sheena.
Hey, Rashida. Hey, just Lakeisha. Hey, Wilson Financial. Good to see you guys. Yeah, that's a big deal. You can really be trapped in not liking who you are and changing some things. What about you, Stefan?
Oh, yeah. It's a big one that the author mentioned, and that's pornography.
Yeah.
You know, I was exposed to pornography before I was in kindergarten. You know, it was available at my house, and it was not frowned upon. It was, you know, the tapes was there. You know, this was what VCRs.
VCRs and tapes before the internet.
Correct.
You had to put in them little fuzzy tapes, and everybody knew that what was in that case. Yes. It was not school days. It was.
It was something
Screw days. I don't.
Yeah, you know, and somehow along the way, you know, it became, like Danny said, a coping mechanism. You get mad, you go in your room, you're mad at everybody, and guess who's there waiting on you to make you feel better? For the sake of dinner, I'm going to use cracking the peanut. So, if you know what I mean. It was all about cracking the peanut and falling asleep, you know, and you would just get away from life like that. And that thing rode on me forever, all the way up into college. And it's a struggle on and off, especially when you ingest so many things in your eyes, and you see half-naked people on Instagram, the whole fad with women and not wearing bras. And next thing you know, you're fighting this whole pornography thing, and you don't know why you were trying to fight so hard and you stuck in this thing, and now you're back doing it again. And I can honestly say, I had one moment to where I seen some people getting busy out in the public, and for some reason I just sat there and I thought, man, if this dude pulled out his wood right now and started doing something with this girl, I would honestly look away. And then, you know, it made me think like, why behind closed doors the wood wouldn't even matter? I would look at the whole scene,
right?
But in real life, I wouldn't even look at it. And then, even in sexual situations, some of that stuff that happens on pornography, you will not want that to happen. Well, most people would not want that to happen.
In real life.
During that
The cable man comes over and he's like, starts taking off his clothes. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't want this. Right?
Police calling on you.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, you know, God really has to, it's a couple of things, you know, when you need to be kept, certain things like Bible study, hanging around the brethren, like you need so much time away to not do those things. For me, I needed to just get in the house, take a shower, go to sleep. Get in the house, take a shower, go to sleep. No idle time until God finally make you disgusted with the thing to where you look at it and say, I don't want nothing on here.
So you think it was about staying busy?
I think it was
Is that possible to stay busy?
I think it was about allowing me to grasp the ways out that God was giving me. Like He was giving me ways out, and it was, you know, just so happened to be in fellowship or going to a church event or talking to somebody for a long time.
That's good.
So I wouldn't have so much time to wrestle with that thing by myself.
Yeah, that's good.
So sometimes it's about staying busy until you can break the habit. Once you have the desire has changed and you don't want it. Once you don't want it anymore, then it's about staying busy and productive so that you can break the habit.
Yes, and then at some point you'll realize that, you know what? I got more energy. You know what I'm saying? Depleting my blood.
Did your sex drive increase after that?
Yeah. You don't get that edge off. You don't get.
But you know the thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
You know, but the thing about addictions and sin, because the scripture that we're using today talks about not being ensnared in sin or trapped in sin. Is sin is gonna hurt the believer no matter what. It's either gonna hurt you after you do it or while you're doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's gonna hurt when you decide to stop.
Yeah.
But either way, sin itself is painful.
Yeah.
So something we talked about last week is just why not have the kind of pain that comes with moving forward in God? Since you're gonna hurt regardless, you know, and most pleasures of the world are sinful, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so while there's pleasure with sin, there's also a lot of pain for the believer when it comes to sin.
Man, talk about it, Pastor. Because I can recall just, you know, fighting all night, right? Because it's not like you just finna by osmosis skip the pain part.
No.
Right.
It's the pain of fighting all night, praying and exercising faith, and then still doing it, still turning on the booty movie at night. You get that little enjoyment for that night.
Right.
You wake up in the morning, head hung low,
dragging. The shame of it.
It's like,
and even if nobody knows, you just are upset that you succumbed again.
Yeah.
Even if nobody knows, you're just upset that I did this to myself again. Because it's really something you really don't want to do. Yeah. So I think what the Lord wants to know is, would you suffer for me? Since it's obvious that you're going to suffer as a believer in sin. Would you suffer for me to be free of it? Or would you only suffer so that you can get a quick fix? Do you know what I mean? Like, the pain is worth it so you can get your fix, but the pain is not worth it for me as God. You know what I mean? I think that is a huge question that we have to ask. I am just trying to fold these the way they say, but some of them I got a little overstuffed. All right, it's happening. Okay, great.
That's good. That's a good pass. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I
think too. It is, man. You feel like you said. You feel so bad.
So bad.
But having that time of going through the pain of like stopping it for a time, and then you like, but the high of I made it. Like I made it for a time without this. I really might be all right. And it's small because it could be just a little while. Like, you know, recently we went on the fast and we couldn't have no sweets. And sweets is one of my vices. And without the sauce, 3 weeks, I made it. 3 weeks. Okay. okay, that's really good.
So it lets you know that it's possible.
It lets you know that it's possible.
And then after you have to get to the root. You really have to get to the root of why you're doing it. In your case, it was emotional eating.
Yeah.
And then addressing that and cutting that, turning that tide on that is huge.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Stefan? Sound like you're going to say something.
Oh, I was just reminded of what your dad, Minister Hudson, always tells us. He said, it's nothing in a man that wants to be righteous. The desire that you have, the one time that you didn't sin was a miracle, and it came from God. And it's like, it'll encourage you. It'll be like, you know what, God, I am not trapped to this thing.
That's right.
You gave me a breather in this, so
that I know I can be free.
I know that I can be free. I know I'm not trapped in this because I was free for this X amount of time. I don't care if it was a day. You still rejoice at that day that God allowed you to be free from that thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh. It is being trapped in these things. It does make you feel like you're on lockdown, but thankfully, God is so good. He's so good. And his love for us just keeps showing up every day.
So you've had experiences where you've been free from something. Anybody been free from one of their been trapped in? Is everybody? Because I know with Danny, we're still working on that.
Yes.
I'm saying, how did you feel when you were finally free?
I think for me, in this last time period that I went
What happened? Because I know when you got free once by
I got free.
taking the weed
out.
but then
I went back.
Weed wasn't the issue, was it?
It wasn't.
What was the issue?
The issue was me and my identity and being comfortable with who I was and not trying to, make myself but I had this thing where I do this better, best thing where I just got to keep reaching for greater heights and how I look and just keep striving to be better and outdo everyone else.
Yeah.
And when I got to a point where I wasn't to this point, it was Pastor that helped me get to this point.
Yeah.
He identified this. But when I got to the point of the understanding that, it wasn't all these other things that made me, but who I was enough, that helped me to begin to stop looking to other things to add to me.
Yeah.
So sometimes we could just keep striving so much so that we get addicted because we're always striving for perfection.
Yes.
Or comfort.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times when it comes to behavioral addictions, we just want comfort.
Yeah, Lord.
We we're addicted to comfort. And I know you're like, who doesn't want comfort? But there's purpose in pain. There's sometimes suffering is needed. You can't be comfortable and work out. All right? So it becomes clear that sometimes you don't need to be comfortable right now. You don't need to be appeased right now. And I think for the most part we get caught in these habits because we love feeling good. And we don't recognize that there's a time for everything. And that means, hello somebody, y'all better harden up, okay? There's a time where you're not supposed to be feeling good right now. You're supposed to be feeling bad. This is supposed to hurt. And sometimes I gotta remind people, it's supposed to hurt. This you had a lot of pleasure, and then now we're removing that pleasure so that you could have health. And that could require. Give me some words on that.
I think that is
Not you, somebody else.
Oh, somebody else. Y'all get in there. Y'all get in there.
And I honestly think that if we had a life just free of those painful moments, right, then the victory wouldn't be as great. You wouldn't learn. It's certain things that you learn going through pain. Like you learn to still be faithful, or you learn to how we just learned to conclude right for the next situation.
Yeah, definitely.
And to be honest, man, it is painful to feel like you've been delivered for something and then suffer the pain of falling back to that thing.
Yeah.
And it messes with your identity of who you think you are, who you want to be. And it makes you feel like, man, is this who I am? Am I ever gonna get rid of this?
Yeah.
Is this gonna keep popping up in my life?
Yeah. That's tough. I think that whom the sun sets free is free indeed. And the freedom isn't necessarily from the action, but it's from the thing that binds you to the action. And that takes therapy, that takes counseling, that takes a lot of prayer. And then the rest you can start focusing on habit. But first you have to recognize how Christ has freed you from the chain that actually makes you do the thing that you don't want to do. The hurt, the childhood exposure, the insecurity. First you have to deal with what is holding me to this and how Christ has freed me from feeling like I can't do anything but this. Once that is seen, then you can start working on the habit. Okay. Yeah, do you want to say something? Go ahead. Because I'm ready to cut this.
I'm ready.
I only made one. So tell me your point. I only made one. I'm going to make the rest when we get off. But since to save time, let's see if we can get any. Oh, yeah, it crunches. Oh, thank God. Because it's not a Crunchwrap Supreme unless it actually crunches.
Oh, it looks good.
Can I even see it? Hey, look at me, camera. Can y'all see this? Okay, great. Okay.
It looks, man.
So we're going to take a couple of just together. Go ahead, Stefan. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to add that I talked to a young man the other day, and I had to tell him, like, rejoice in the fact that you don't have the desire. Like, you see yourself falling and struggling with something, but you don't even really want to do it deep down on the inside, and that counts for something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. Oh my God. Okay, so let's chase these. I've only made them a bite. I'm gonna make the rest because they only come for the dinner. But just to try it out today, I'll let them try a piece. Here you go. There you go. All right, let's see how it turned out.
Yes, Lord. Hallelujah.
Oh my God. I hate to brag. This is so good. I shouldn't even brag about it. I shouldn't even brag about how good it is. I made it, but I shouldn't even say.
Dang, it's good.
I already want seconds, and they didn't have the first one.
I had a wonderful time tonight. Listen, next week I want to hear from you guys. Can you comment today's show? I want to hear what kind of topics you want to talk about. Because I'm just randomly selecting these, and I may not pick your topic. But tonight, go ahead and comment live for us. Let me come back and read your comments that you have some topic choices for us for next week, okay? So I'm taking live topics next week. Give me some ideas of what you want to talk about. Let me sift through those. And next week, we'll post a recipe on Thursday nights. We post a recipe for tonight's show. So if you coming home after work on Friday, you can use your Instagram feed to pull up your grocery list, and you can join us as well. If you prepared your Crunchwrap Supreme during our chat today, then go ahead and post a picture in the comments below. I had a wonderful time with you guys. It was a great conversation. Thank you guys so much for being here at my home today. And I hope to see you next week, okay? Share it if you liked it. Heart it up for me, please. Love you guys. See you next week.